Bueno, usted ya lo escuchó. James Fox nos dice que Nat Geo no entrevistó a los testigos que acompañaban a Travis Walton en su experiencia, aunque los tenían ahí. Bueno, yo quiero recordarle a usted que Tercer Milenio sí los entrevistó, presentamos el caso completo, y no solamente para entretener, sino también para informar. Aquí le presento la entrevista con Jhon Goullette, uno de los testigos más importantes, que estaba con Travis Walton cuando una nave se lo llevó al espacio.
Entre las personas que acompañaban a Travis Walton se encontraba Jhon Goullette, quien, en entrevista exclusiva con el periodista Jaime Maussan, nos narró la experiencia que vivieron el 5 de noviembre de 1975, cuando Walton fue secuestrado por un platillo volador muy luminoso ante la mirada atónita de sus compañeros de cuadrilla que se dedicaban a talar árboles en el Parque Nacional de Arizona.
How do you remember the craft? How it was?
It was it seemed like it was like a dull white, yellow glow kind of, you know, and I could actually see a framework in the walls of it. I couldn't see inside the craft, but I could see where it glowed through the walls of the craft. I could actually see the framework of it, you know, and it was probably about the size of a van, you know, and it was maybe a little wider, you know, and it wasn't smooth all the way around. It had little corners, you know, and
Jhon nos aseguró que lo que le quedó más grabado en su mente fue cuando a Walton lo levantó una luz y cayó al piso.
Travis was bent over, hiding, you know, kind of hiding behind some bush, and he had his hands in his jacket pocket. And when I looked and lit up, and I looked back, and Travis was spread out like this, you know, and he was a little ways off the ground, and I was so scared it seemed like slow motion. He just like came down on the ground, and as his feet hit, his knees crumbled, you know, and he just crumbled up in a ball. He was laying there, and then Mike started up the truck and took off. We went down the road about a quarter mile, half mile, something like that, and we stopped, and we were arguing about going back or not.
Al día siguiente, a la población llegaron comisarios que se separaron para buscar a Travis y saber si se había tratado de un asesinato.
There was, I think it was 5 of us went back out searching for him, and they split us up with different groups, and each group had a deputy sheriff with it. And that deputy, the whole time I'm out there, all he did was ask me, you know, why don't you just tell me where the body is, and we can all go home, you know, we can get this over with. And they thought we had murdered him, you know. I'm out there working with chainsaws, and it was a pretty rough bunch, you know. And they're all physically capable of doing something, you know, not mentally, they wouldn't have done it, you know, but they're all physically capable of doing something like that, you know, and, you know, they just assumed one of us or all of us had killed him.
Goullette nos dijo que al quinto día fueron sometidos al polígrafo.
You know, then, like on I believe it was the 5th day, we went and took lie detector tests, you know, and that too, you know, we volunteered to take lie detector tests, and then when we got down to the Holbrook County Jail, they put us in the dining room where the inmates eat, and then the only way out was to go into this yard, and it was the exercise area for the inmates. It had like a 15-foot chain link fence around it, and we were constantly watched, you know, and they took us one at a time, and I think I took 3 polygraph tests that day. They took us one at a time. I'm sure the other ones did too, you know, and they just kept testing us over and over again. I guess the guy couldn't believe the results, you know, and then, you know, we were in there, oh man, till, late at night. And then finally they come back, you know, and we sat there waiting for the results for hours, and then they finally come out and tell us, you know, that all of us had passed the lie detector test. And
a 37 años del incidente, Jhon Goullette afirmó que no estamos solos en el universo y que ellos no vienen con malas intenciones.
You know, it's like overall as a mass, no, I don't think they're any threat to humanity, or, you know, I don't think they, no.
Why you decided to come into the open and tell this part of the story?
Well, I would think, man, there's, you know, I mean, there's nothing you can do about the initial fear when that happens, but afterwards, you know, just to realize there's nothing you can do about it, you know, there's no reason to be afraid, and, you know, the experience happened, it's over, there's nothing to be afraid of, you know, just live your life, you know, and then, you know, and deal with it. Tell the truth, you know, and tell people, tell the truth.